Hey guys, so today I'm going to do another video game ranking, and this one is going to be on my top 30 games that I played on my channel that was originally released in 2018. So just going back throughout the years and looking at all the different video games I played on my channel, and I have played thousands of video games on my channel. So yeah, this is going to be my personal ranking of the top 30 games that were originally had a release in 2018. Yes, that includes re-releases and remasters as well. So yeah, let's check it out. I'm pretty interested to see what games I have on this list, and these are going to be my own personal subjective list, obviously. So yeah, stay tuned. Okay, so I have to give an honorable mention, as I always do with these kind of ranking lists, and this one is going to be. I have to mention this game because it is very, very unique. It's Return of the Obra Dinn. It's by the same developer as Papers, Please, which is one of my favorite indie games, and yeah, this one is quite different and quite unique. So the graphical style is like this 1-bit style or something. It's got very limited color palette. I guess it's almost like black and white, I want to say. But yeah, the art style and the design and the aesthetic of this game is very unique. Yeah, it's almost like a 1-bit style or something. It looks like you're playing a game that was rendered in an ebook reader, like a Kindle or something. Yeah, it honestly looks like an ebook game or something like that, like e-ink. Yeah, that's what I want to say. It looks like an e-ink game. So the colors and everything are done in this super black and white or some kind of way like this. But the premise of this game is that you're on this ship, this pirate ship, I guess. It looks like a pirate ship anyways, but you're investigating what happened on the ship, and like people are killing each other, or there's like a mutiny of sorts, and you're trying to find out what happened. So you examine each of the pieces that you find to kind of like you examine like different scenes basically on the ship. So you kind of pause time, I guess, to examine what happened, and then you try to kind of deduce what happened on this ship here.
Something happened.
So yeah, it's an investigative game essentially. So yeah, you have all these different verbs and stuff to use. So you're basically playing the role of an investigator. You're trying to investigate, and you're like a detective game basically. You're trying to solve the mystery, what happened on the ship. You have to identify the people. You have to the location, the weapon that was used, the context.
Nothing. No, there's no sound. It's just like this guy hit.
So this is like really a detective investigative type of game, but it's done in a very unique way because first the graphical art style is super unique to this game, and then secondly you're walking around the ship where time is kind of stopped, and then you kind of use your little this little pocket watch compass thing, and then you go back in time to when it happened, and then the time kind of just stops and freezes for you to kind of investigate more. So just a very, very unique game. I wouldn't say like this is one of the scenes, like you go back in time, and apparently there's a kraken or something attacking the ship as well. But yeah, I wouldn't say that this game is really one I enjoyed a lot. Like I enjoyed Papers, Please a lot more, honestly. But I have to mention it because it is super unique and definitely still worth checking out. So yeah, Return of the Obra Dinn. Okay, starting off at number 30 is Digimon Stories Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory, which is a sequel to Digimon Stories Cyber Sleuth. And I think this is probably my favorite Digimon game so far. I mean, I enjoyed the Digimon World games too, but I think these Digimon Story games are actually quite good. They're not like, the best JRPGs or something like that. They're not on the same level as an all-time, Persona or Final Fantasy game, not saying that, but yeah, I mean, for Digimon games, I mean, you gotta remember, Digimon games in general don't really have like a high bar to aspire to, I guess, because most of the games are just very mediocre. So Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory, for what it's worth, is a pretty darn good Digimon game. Like, you get sucked into this virtual world, and within this virtual world, of course, you got Digimon, and it becomes a little bit like Dragon Quest and Pokemon-ish. In a way, because of course you get your own Digimon and stuff, and you got to use them to fight other Digimon, but you also do so within the confines of the digital world and everything. I liked going around this world, this whole digital world, and it's actually reminds me of Dot Hack in some ways as well, because that's another JRPG where you get stuck in a digital world essentially. But I enjoyed playing this game. I think this is probably my favorite Digimon story games so far. I mean, I know there's a new one coming out, so I can't wait to play that one. But as far as Digimon games I played are concerned, yeah, this is probably my favorite Digimon game. I liked it a little bit better than the original Cyber Sleuth. I mean, the original Cyber Sleuth was actually pretty good as well, but Hacker's Memory, yeah, it's just an expanded take on, well, it's a sequel, right? So adds a little bit more. Yeah, and you get to see, you know, all sorts of cool Digimon stuff. You get to use a bunch of Digimon, and yeah, it's got the otaku vibes and everything to it as well, which I also like. So I'd say if you're a fan of Digimon, definitely check it out. You know, get to go into a digital world, get to fight with Digimon, level up your Digimon, Digivolution, you know, fight some really cool looking Digimon monsters and everything. Yeah, so all in all, I did like playing Hacker's Memory. So yeah, and it's been re-released a few times on PC. I have actually the PC version and the Switch version, but the version I'm playing here is the PS4 version, which came out in 2018, internationally, that is. So yeah, and you get to go around. I think this is a recreation of Akihabara-ish, and which is also always cool. You know, I know of course you got the maid outfits, so it has to be Akihabara. So yeah, it's some recreation of Japan's Akihabara district in Tokyo, which I always love. I've been there a few times. Very otaku vibes. But anyways, I think it's a pretty solid Digimon game, worth checking out for sure, and for JRPG fans in general. Even if you're not into Digimon, I think just it's a pretty solid, like 75, 80 out of 100 type of JRPG, which is pretty good for Digimon. All right, so number 29 is Parkitect. So Parkitect is this park simulation game that basically is trying to be like a throwback to like the classic Roller Coaster Tycoon games, like Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, 2, and 3. So yeah, I think it's a pretty, you know, decent, I guess a decent simulation game that tries to be like that. I wouldn't say I liked it as much as the classic Roller Coaster Tycoon games, because I just have so much nostalgia for those games. But yeah, Parkitect does a pretty decent job of recreating that kind of feeling. So if you guys are just Roller Coaster Tycoon fans, and you wanted to play like I guess a more modern take on it, then definitely check out Parkitect. Although you can still play Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 Complete Edition, that's out there as well. But yeah, I would say that Planet Coaster is kind of more modern-ish, and then the classic Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 and 2 games, I guess, is what Parkitect is trying to be. So yeah, this is like a little bit more classic. You can have this classic isometric view, for example. I think that, so it's really not really just trying to be like Roller Coaster Tycoon. It's trying to specifically capture the vibe from the first 2 Roller Coaster Tycoon games. Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, I think, is what Planet Coaster is trying to capture. So I guess you can think of, yeah, Parkitect and Planet Coaster is like Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 and 3 equivalent, I guess, in a modern game format. So yeah. If you guys like Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, which is, I think, a very well-received entry in the franchise, then you can definitely check out Parkitect. To me, it's not exactly the same, but yeah, it comes close enough, you know. Yeah, so it's fairly well done, I would say. And I think it was actually Kickstartered, so obviously there was demand for the game. And just creating my own sandbox world for different rides and getting people to ride it and stuff is always fun, you know. So that's something. Just seeing all the peeps, yeah, ride everything. The hard part was actually getting the pass and everything, and getting my coasters and all the rides to kind of fit. But once I get them all fitting, and then seeing the peeps all ride them, yeah, that's a nice little happiness I get after just seeing the ride open and all the peeps come towards it. It's a nice little feeling. So yeah, Parkitect, worth checking out if you like Roller Coaster Tycoon, especially the first 2 entries. Okay, so number 28 is Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. So this is by Obsidian Entertainment. I believe this was it their first actually like original IP? I think Pillars of Eternity might have been the first original IP from Obsidian, because they're well known for just working with IPs basically from other developers. But yeah, so the original Pillars of Eternity, I think, was okay. I mean, it was like Kickstarter or something, and I think it did well enough. It wasn't like a really great CRPG, but it did well enough. And then Pillars of Eternity 2 came out, improved on it. I still think Pillars of Eternity 2 it's good, but I still don't think it's like a really all-time great CRPG, but it's still very, very good and an improvement on the original in a lot of ways. So if you guys are looking for classic isometric CRPG or Western RPG,
Leave it to me.
Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2 will give you that. 2 is a little bit better. It did improve on a lot of the gameplay aspects. But yeah, I think that Pillars of Eternity is a very good game. I wouldn't put it on the same level as, say, Baldur's Gate or Disco Elysium or Divinity Original Sin, but you know what? Still, yeah, very solid. So you know, still ends up on this list, even though it's not like that high up on this list. So I would say it's just one of these games that if people are kind of looking for a classic CRPG experience and an original IP with original characters, then check out Pillars of Eternity. Yeah, 2 Deadfire, probably the one to pick up, I would say. Yeah, I think it was kind of close between putting this one and Neverwinter Nights 2 Enhanced Edition. Actually, Neverwinter Nights, sorry, 1 Enhanced Edition on this list, because the Enhanced Edition for Neverwinter Nights did come out the same year. But yeah, I'll go with the original IP here. So, Pillars of Eternity 2. Yeah. It's definitely, I would say, not one of Obsidian's very best games, but it's up there.
What do we have
Yeah,
here?
certainly I like it better than some of their other original IPs, like Avowed. I think Pillars of Eternity 2 is better than Avowed. So yeah, if you guys are looking for classic, like, isometric CRPG experience with original IP and characters, definitely check out Pillars of Eternity 2. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's on the same level as Baldur's Gate or Divinity Original Sin, so don't expect that. But it's still very, very good. So yeah, it's worth checking out. Okay, so number 27 is Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology for the 3DS. Unfortunately, I don't think this has ever gotten a release on PC or for a newer system like Switch or something, which I hope it does someday, because Radiant Historia is this JRPG that originally came out for DS back in 2010, I think, but this is the expanded remake version for 3DS. It's a fairly well done RPG, I would say. So if you guys like classic JRPGs, you know, any of the Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, any of those types, or Super Nintendo era JRPGs, I would say. If you like any of those classic Super Nintendo era JRPGs, this one is pretty good as well. It involves a bit of time travel as well. So that's the mechanic in this game, where you can travel between like parallel timelines. So that's something that does happen in this game as well, because you find out soon that, yeah, you were killed, but then you weren't killed because you had the chance to rewind back time. So, yeah, I find that's the thing that kind of sets Radiant Historia apart, is the parallel timelines thing. So if you guys like, well, kind of shifting timelines and time travel, and done in a classic 90s JRPG fashion, I would say, then Radiant Historia is definitely worth picking up. Yeah, so the combat system is sort of like Final Fantasy-ish, I would say, you know, from the side and everything. The turn-based, of course. So yeah, I would say the Radiant Historia is definitely worth picking up for classic JRPG fans. Yeah, if you like the Super Nintendo era, even some of the PS1 era JRPGs, then you definitely might want to check this one out. And I hope it gets a re-release someday for newer systems like Switch or PC. We'll see. So far, I guess the 3DS version, Perfect Chronology, would be the one to pick up. Okay, so number 26 is Earth Defense Force 5. So Earth Defense Force has been a series that I've always loved playing with friends, because it's pretty pick up and play. Like, basically, you have split screen, which is actually not that common on games anymore. You have split screen, and then it's essentially just shooting a bunch of giant insects, right? It's got this like 1950s sci-fi flavor to it. You know, if you see these 1950s sci-fi movies with giant insects and yeah, you know, those kind of movies. Yeah, this is like killing those giant insects, and Godzilla even might have something like that, because really you're just defending Earth against giant aliens and insects, which is cool. I mean, if you play with a friend, it's pretty straightforward. All you do is go around, you shoot, and you kill stuff. And I'd say it's fun to play with friends. By yourself, it might not be as fun, because it's pretty much pretty much just shooting stuff. That's all it is. So by yourself, I don't think it's that fun. But if you play with a friend, it's definitely pretty fun. I played almost all the Earth Defense Force games with my friends already, starting I think from 2020. Was it actually 2025? That's this year. No, the original Earth Defense Force I might have played on PS3. But yeah, this is the PS4 version, Earth Defense Force 5. There might be a newer one in the series now, but yeah, definitely, if you play with a friend, it's pretty fun. Yeah, it's definitely a multiplayer game, I'd say. If you play split screen, there's not a whole lot of split screen games anymore. Yeah, it's fun to play. Number 25 is Celeste. So Celeste is a platformer game, probably, I would say, fairly well-known indie platformer game, and it's well-known because of how difficult it is, actually. So yeah, it's got these cute little retro graphics and everything. But what really makes Celeste stands out is it's challenging and difficult because it's not just your typical platformer where you have to like fight enemies and stuff. It's more like a puzzle platformer where you have to basically get yourself across, get across all these platforms without dying. So you gotta be really, really precise with your jumping. So yeah, it really is kind of a pure platformer in that sense.
I think if I touch the gem...
Yeah, it's not just like a game that has platforming in it, but you fight enemies. It's a pure platformer. You gotta really... Yeah, you really gotta be precise with your jumping. So it's really all about those jumps. And it's challenging, it's difficult, but it's also kind of rewarding in a sense because you really want to, get to the next area, right? And it's just the levels and... I would say areas of the map. I wouldn't say they're necessarily levels. They're areas of the map. They're just designed really, really well.
How am I supposed to get out of here?
They're designed in a way where you can get across it, but it takes a lot of trial and error. Like, yeah, you need to really think about how to get across it, and it takes a lot of attempts, let's just say, to try to do it. So frustrating sometimes, yes. But also challenging and rewarding, I would say. So it's really a pure platformer. I mean, it's not really like real enemies per se in this game. It's just you're just trying to get across the platforms by jumping, and you really gotta be accurate and very precise in your jumps. So that's what really makes it challenging. So I think Celeste definitely deserves to be up there. One of the best indie platformers in recent memory. Okay, so number 24 is Remothered Tormented Fathers. This is a horror game that was released in 2018, and I think when I played this, I was like, it's got a bit of Silent Hill-ish vibes to it, and Resident Evil vibes as well, of course, but it's not really Resident Evil because you're not like really escaping from all these different zombies attacking you or anything. It's more like this one crazy guy that you're running away from. So in that sense, it could be like some of the later Resident Evil games, like Resident Evil 7, but this is not like first person. It's I like it. It's a good horror game, you know. I actually like the fact that it's not really that action oriented. So yeah, it's that's why I say it's not really like the like Resident Evil in the sense that it's not really that action oriented. More maybe like Silent Hill, right? You're running from like one specific enemy. In this case, you're running from some crazy guy here that's trying to kill you. So and it is pretty good at that. I would say it's like there are other Remothered games, but I do think that Tormented Fathers, which is the original one, definitely got the most praise out of them. Because I mean, even if you just have one guy after you, the fact that you can't really fight back against him and you're very vulnerable whenever you go outside. I mean, there's hiding places and everything, right? But once you go outside, you're very vulnerable. And I think that's where kind of the horror aspect comes in. It's like, I'm like, dude, you're running away from this old man. You can't do anything about him. He just has a sickle, and you know, this woman can't attack back, even though it's just an old man with a sickle coming after you. But hey, it is kind of scary though, right? Because you're vulnerable. She can't attack back. You can't even hide when he's nearby. So so in that sense, it is kind of terrifying, right? It's the vulnerability aspect, right? You can't do anything against him. That's where it's vulnerable. You feel very vulnerable and therefore scared. So pretty good horror game, I would say. And not only that, the narrative as well, because you are trying to get down to a mystery, right? With this guy here, you're trying to solve basically the disappearance, right, of one of his daughters. So so there's a mystery behind this game as well, so that you're trying to solve. So there is a story, and it's a decent story, I'd say. And there are a couple of twists in it. 23 is Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash, and this is the PC version. The original version was released, I think, 2017 for PlayStation, but the PC version was released in 2018. So I'm just counting the port, right? Yep. What can I say about Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash? It's essentially a third-person shooter where you use water guns and you use a bunch of cards to power yourself up. Now, this game obviously doesn't take itself seriously, and just like other Senran Kagura games, it's a heavy dose of like perversion, I would say, in it. But hey, if you're into that kind of stuff, which I am, then it's a fun game to play. You know, you're playing these anime girls with big breasts using water guns to squirt it at each other. And hey, what other game where you can do that, right? It's only this game. So in that sense, it's a unique game. If you're looking for a third-person shooter game where you play as anime girls with big breasts shooting water, squirting water at each other, then this is the game to pick up. So you got to give it points for being unique. Okay, so 22 is Octopath Traveler, the original Octopath Traveler. Of course, I think the sequel is a bit better, but the original Octopath Traveler is still worth playing. Just because, like, when it first came out, I think everyone was kind of astonished about the graphical art style from Square Enix here. It's like using this beautiful 2D, like, retro style with 3D background. It's amazing. I mean, this was the first game where Square Enix used that. They would later use it in a lot of other games, like Triangle Strategy and Star Ocean 2 Remake and Dragon Quest 3 as well. But yeah, this is the first game where Square Enix used this engine, where it's kind of like a combination of 2D sprite with a 3D background, done in this sort of modern retro pixelated way, and it's really, really beautiful looking. You get to pick one of 8 characters to play as, which all have kind of entwining stories, and yeah, it's very, very classic JRPG, I would say. Just out of the 90s, I would say. If it wasn't for this really cool art style, I would thought, yeah, the gameplay is just straight out of the 90s. You got random encounters, even random encounters, turn-based combat. It's pretty much the gameplay is just straight out of the 90s, with a really, really cool art style. So, yeah, if you guys are interested in classic 90s JRPGs, then this one pretty much has the gameplay of classic 90s JRPGs with really cool, like modern retro art styles. This really, really cool engine that Square Enix used. And I know that other developers are starting to copy this engine, like Wandering Sword did, basically. It is a really, really cool engine, though. So yeah, that's why they started using it in a lot of their remakes now. Live Alive remake, there's another one that uses this kind of engine to great effect. Okay, so 21 is Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Probably the best Dragon Ball Z fighting game that we've had in a long time, because this one's done by Arc System Works, and they know their fighting games, right? They've done Guilty Gear, they've done Blaze Blue, they know their fighting games, and Dragon Ball Fighter Z, I think, is another great Arc System Works fighting game. So people for a long time, like, I think Dragon Ball Z fans, they have their Budokai games and the Budokai Tenkaichi games and Raging Blast and Xenoverse as well. But all these games are kind of like the 3D style, right? I think what Dragon Ball Z fans was looking for a long time was a return to the 2D style Dragon Ball Z fighting game, which we haven't seen for a long time. I mean, it was basically since the 90s, really, or the early 2000s. I mean, you could count Budokai, kind of, but it's not really 2D. Basically, the last 2D Dragon Ball Z fighting games was like 90s, and it was like Japan only, you know? So Dragon Ball Fighter Z was like the first time in a long time that Western Dragon Ball Z fans really got to experience a 2D Dragon Ball Z fighting game. So yeah, it was really a long time, since the 1990s was the last time you had one of these, and they weren't very good. You know, this is actually a very good 2D fighting game. So this is probably the first time we've ever seen a good 2D Dragon Ball Z fighting game. Not counting some of the Japan only. I know Hyper Dimension was one of my personal favorites, but you know, it was never released officially in the West. And plus it includes new characters, you know, from the Dragon Ball Super as well. You got Beerus, you got Hit. I think later on you get Jiren as well, right? Some of the newer characters, yeah, Super Saiyan Blue. You know, you got the newer characters from Super as well. So yeah, it's really just one of the best Dragon Ball Z fighting games that you can play. I mean, there's two different fighting game styles for Dragon Ball Z now. There's the Dragon Ball Z Fighter Z style, which is 2D, and then you got 3D, which is still Xenoverse 2. Xenoverse 2 is kind of complementary, I would say. Just a different kind of fighting game. But I think I still prefer Fighter Z over Xenoverse 2. I like the 2D style. I think it's just very, very classic. Yeah, and really well done, as you would expect from Arc System Works. So definitely one of the best Dragon Ball Z fighting games. It's really what DBZ fans have been asking for a long time. Okay, number 20 is Crosscode. This is an indie RPG I've referenced a few times before that I think kind of got overlooked, honestly. It's a pretty nice one. First, it's done in a retro 16-bit style, so reminiscent of a lot of Super Nintendo games. And yeah, it's an action RPG as well, where you can kind of like aim and yeah, you can kind of just shoot like that. So the combat is fairly fast-paced. It's not like turn-based or anything. Story involves this girl who she actually doesn't talk very much because well, she didn't regain most of her language abilities at the beginning. You kind of have to like get her language abilities back. So at the beginning you're on the ship. But later on in this game, you go into this VR world, which is where most of the game takes place in. Yeah, overall, it's done pretty well. This game came out at a time when I would say there wasn't too many like indie RPGs that were kind of doing it like the retro Super Nintendo style. This was one of a few. Nowadays, you have a lot of indie RPGs that's kind of using RPG Maker and stuff and doing it like the old school Nintendo or Super Nintendo style. But when Crosscode came out, wasn't too many of them, and yeah, this one kind of stood out to me. So yeah, I had a lot of fun playing Crosscode. I think more people should probably talk about it. I just had a good time, and I think it's just well designed. Yeah, original character, original story, and everything, and just overall done fairly well for an indie RPG in style of an old school 90s JRPG. It's done pretty well. So yeah, this is like years before Chained Echoes and Sea of Stars and all these other yeah, all these other like retro style RPGs came out that are more famous. Yeah, but Crosscode came out, you know, at a time when there wasn't too many of them. So yeah, and I think it was pretty good. As an indie RPG, it's one of my favorites still. I think more people should check it out. Okay, so at number 19 is Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom, the sequel to Ni no Kuni. And just like Ni no Kuni, this one is done in collaboration with Studio Ghibli, so it has the Studio Ghibli animation and graphics. Both of these games are pretty good. I like Ni no Kuni 2 maybe just a little bit more, but you know, both 1 and 2 are pretty good. Yeah, so different stories, but I enjoyed them both. I would say the combat and everything is not doesn't really stand out too much to me. I think in Ni no Kuni 2 it's more of an active combat system. The first one is more turn-based. But either way, the combat's not what stands out. Of course, it's the art style, the aesthetic, and the story, because that's classic Studio Ghibli, right? So if you guys like Studio Ghibli anime, which if you're into anime, I think most people do, then yeah, definitely check out the Ni no Kuni games. Yeah, ironically, I think this one I played first because Ni no Kuni 2 is because, yeah, it came out in 2018 for PS4, and then the Ni no Kuni 1 came out for Switch the year after. So technically I did play number 2 first, but they're both good, like I said. So anyways, yeah, Ni no Kuni 2. I think definitely deserves to be on this list because, yeah, it's quite a solid JRPG. Now, it doesn't, gameplay-wise, it doesn't do anything too original, but definitely story-wise, character-wise, you know, Ghibli animation, all that, nice music. It's just overall very, very solid. Worth checking out. Okay, number 18, another JRPG I think that most JRPG fans should at least take a look at is Ys 8, Lacrimosa of Dana. Personally, I think this one was my favorite Ys game for a long time until Ys 10 Nordics came out, which is still very close. I mean, Ys 8 is still one of my favorites. I think it's hard to pinpoint exactly why it's so great compared to other Ys games, because I think it's just when you play it, it's the experience of the fluidity of the combat, and the story is just really well paced. I mean, you play the same characters every other Ys game. You play Adol Christian, right? The adventurer with red hair. So he's he's pretty much, you know, you play the same character in every Ys game. But I think what makes Ys 8 stand out is, yeah, it's a really well-paced story. Combat is really nice and free-flowing, and it's always been an action RPG, but yeah, I just found it's really easy to get into Ys 8. Yeah, and you get a nice party going pretty fast. I think it's just the whole pacing of the storyline that I liked the best in Ys 8. It just got me really engrossed. With Ys 9, Monstrous Nox, I just didn't like the story as much. So even though all these Ys games have similar gameplay, I guess the story is the thing that kind of differentiates them, and Ys 8 just has a great story. It has a better story than most of the other Ys games, so I think that's what makes it stands out as one of the best Ys games. And the characters as well. So the other characters, I think, a little bit more interesting in Ys 8.
Another anime.
Yeah. I think that's Loxia, right? Yeah. Or Laxia. So, yeah, it's just you have a nice other characters in your party in Ys 8 as well, and that also adds to the charm of this game. So I'm going to put Ys 8, of course, still one of my favorite Ys games and worth picking up for any JRPG fan.
Like you?
Okay, so 17 is Just Cause 4. Now, Just Cause 4 is, yeah, I think it's the latest entry in the Just Cause series. It's basically more of the same. If you guys have played Just Cause 2, Just Cause 3, Just Cause 4, they're all built on the same premise, which is you're in an open world in some Caribbean setting, and opening hook as well. So it's just overall very fun series.
Oh, look
Yeah,
at them.
I guess people kind of got tired of it because they haven't been made. Yeah, so that might be why they're not making any new ones, because I know Just Cause games all play kind of similar. It's just that the graphics are slightly better. Like obviously Just Cause 3 and Just Cause 4 look better than Just Cause 2. But yeah, it's always just been a fun series. I always think of it, so it doesn't take itself all too seriously, and yeah, it's just a nice playing around in an open world where you can just drive any car, ride any bikes. In this one, I have a plane, right? Skydiving, parachuting off a plane, blowing shit up with a rocket launcher. I mean, basically the thing about Just Cause is that you're supposed to destroy as much stuff as you can. And then you have this grappling hook, which lets you get around really fast. So yeah, it's kind of a shame there hasn't really been many new Just Cause games recently. I think this is still the last one, but it's still fun to play, you know? Fun to play. Yeah, just kill people, blow stuff up, use your grappling hook to get around. It's the overall very fun open world game. Sandbox type of game.
Another one of them come in blow.
Okay, so number 16 is Deltarune. So Deltarune is made by the same developer, I think Toby Fox is his name, who made Undertale. And Undertale is a very influential indie RPG. So that one is, yeah, it's just kind of unique. It's got this retro style. It's also kind of disturbing in a way. But Deltarune is a little bit different from Undertale because it does have similar graphical style to Undertale. But I would say it's not quite as dark. It's a little bit more lighthearted. And yeah, very fun to play, and it's still very unique. A lot of unique characters and settings in Deltarune. So this person, Sarah, who I don't know what she is. She's some kind of dinosaur, I guess. And you play as this guy here. Yeah, and you're in this alternate dimension, I guess. Oh, Susie. Sorry, what? Yeah, Susie's her name. Well, I thought her name was Sarah. Yeah, Susie is her name. And then she's some sort of dinosaur-looking person. Yeah. Anyways, it's a pretty crazy story. The combat is definitely similar yet different from Undertale. So you got the side-scrolling perspective, which is different from Undertale. But like Undertale, you get to play a mini-game to kind of avoid their attacks. So that part is similar to Undertale. So the combat system is unique. Yeah, both got similarities and differences from Undertale, I would say. And the characters are all pretty unique as well. Very quirky, just like in Undertale.
Oh no, there is a minigame.
Yeah, very quirky enemies and characters. Play the minigame, so overall, just a very fun indie RPG to play. One of my favorite indie RPGs, and one of my favorite Western RPGs as well. I had on my list actually.
Okay, yeah, so you still have the same.
Yeah, I actually like it better than Undertale. I like how it has a little bit more variety than Undertale. It's a little bit more lighthearted than Undertale. So this is just the first chapter of Deltarune. The full release of Deltarune actually came out this year, 2025. But this is the first chapter of Deltarune, which came out in 2018 originally. So I guess it counts. I mean, sure, you can say the full release came out in 2025, but technically the first chapter came out in 2018, so it counts for this list. So anyways, Deltarune, definitely check it out if you guys like Undertale, if you just if you guys just want to play a unique indie RPG experience, then definitely check it out. Yeah. Quirky. Okay, so number 15 is going to be Shenmue 2 HD. So this is the high definition remaster and re-release of Shenmue 2 for both PC and PS4. That's what it came out for. But yeah, I remember wanting to play Shenmue for a very long time because I heard so much about it, but just it was hard to play for a long time because it was like Dreamcast exclusive, right? So the original Shenmue games 1 and 2 were both considered like groundbreaking for the time because they just did a lot. They were kind of like open world, and you had all these mini games that you could play, and there was like a real-time clock, and like there's just so many things you can do in this game. And it had huge production budgets for the time. I think it was like the most expensive video game ever developed for a long time, you know. So it had kind of a cult following. It was just, I always wanted to play Shenmue, just never got to until this re-release high definition remaster that came out in 2018. So yeah, finally got to play it, and I guess once you play like Shenmue in today's age, it kind of feels dated, right? Because well, obviously the graphics are a bit dated. This is from like the Dreamcast era in the early 2000s graphics, and the voice acting is so stiff as well. So like, yeah, I think these are things like it does seem like a bit dated when you play it now, but I can understand like for the time that it came out, it was pretty revolutionary. So just the world that you can interact with in this game, like you're in Hong Kong in Shenmue 2, and yeah, there's a high amount of interaction in this game, and it's a semi-open world. Pretty much inspired the Yakuza games, I would say. So yeah, like the Shenmue series is, I would say, more respected for like kind of their impact at the time, how pioneering they were at the time, how groundbreaking they were at the time. But if you go back and play them now, it's definitely aged, you know. You go back and play Shenmue 1 and 2 now, you're like, oh, what's so special about these games? But at the time, I think they were definitely very special for their time. So yeah, you gotta like put into context here. And then Shenmue 3, you know, Shenmue 3 came out, and like honestly, it was like dated. So that's the thing. Like people remember Shenmue, and they have like it has this cult following because, well, at the time it came out, it was very, very like revolutionary. But nowadays you have Yakuza and other games, and it just kind of feels dated to play Shenmue now. It's just Shenmue is a lot more slower paced than the Yakuza is. Not quite as combat focused as Yakuza is. You could do combat in Shenmue, obviously, but it's just not as focused on the combat. It's definitely more slower paced. But still, you know, playing Shenmue 2 HD, and finally got to see what all the hype was about. And honestly, yeah, it still, I was like, yeah, it's a good game. I don't see why it got so much hype though. But I kind of understand. Okay, this is like, you got to put into perspective. This game, when at the time it came out, there was really nothing else like it. So then, if you put into perspective, I was like, oh, okay, I get why this game was considered so special. Okay, so number 14 is Monster Hunter World. I think it's considered to be one of the best Monster Hunter games. I still prefer Monster Hunter Rise. I know like people are kind of divisive about that game. I still prefer Rise. I like Rise a lot, but World is still good. I mean, I played Monster Hunter World. It's my second Monster Hunter game that I played. I played Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. I think that was the first Monster Hunter game. And then, yeah, World is... it's entirely a different experience, obviously. This is a PS4, right? So when I played World, I was like, well, this is such a huge upgrade because I was playing 4 Ultimate on my 3DS, right? So yeah, you have this massive, expansive world, and really kind of just almost like an open world. But of course, you do quests in Monster Hunter, right? So each quest you take, or each mission you take, in a semi-open world. You can like kind of go around, but you're still kind of like the area that you're in is still big, but you can't exactly like just go anywhere you want. It's just you're confined to the area where you're supposed to kill the monster. But it's still like a fairly big world, and yeah, I was still impressed by it. Of course, with Monster Hunter, it's one of the few JRPGs you can actually customize your character quite a bit as well. So that's also pretty good. So yeah, Monster Hunter World. Enjoyed playing it. The combat and everything's classic Capcom. So if you guys know Dragon's Dogma, this is like pretty similar combat to that. Or I would say like Monster Hunter came out first, right? You have these massive weapons and everything, and you still got to be strategic with your combat. So combat is done very well, and yeah, the whole aspect of going to different areas and trying to destroy, kill, actually, to capture and kill the monster that you're after. Yeah, it's all pretty thrilling and invigorating. I know I'm not like a huge Monster Hunter fan, but this series is so popular in Japan, especially. And yeah, Monster Hunter World is considered one of the best Monster Hunter games, and I get it. I mean, when I first played this game, I thought it was a huge upgrade over Monster Hunter 4, which was already pretty good. So yeah, it was just, yeah, you have this beautiful world that you're in. The graphics are really good, and combat is good, and a lot of customization, and yeah, overall, I think very solid, very, very good Monster Hunter game. Yeah, one of the best. Okay, number 13 is God of War, and this is the rebooted God of War from 2018. Of course, the original God of War came out for the PlayStation 2, so it was a trilogy on the PS2. All 3 games were considered very good. And then PSP got some pretty good God of War games as well. Yeah, so Ghost of Sparta, I think, is the one I played, and that was a pretty good game as well, and Chains of Olympus. And then 2018 reboot came out, and now this one is considered the best God of War game. I mean, it's hard to like really rank God of War games because they're all considered quite good. I don't think there's ever been a bad God of War game, but yeah, 2018 is pretty high up there. I mean, it's kind of a reboot, like a soft reboot, I guess, because like base Kratos, right, is this guy's name. Most of you guys are familiar with God of War. Originally, like in the original 3 God of War games, like it was like set in a Greek mythology type of setting, but then the 2018 God of War reboot is set in a Norse mythology setting, so it's a little bit different, and now he has a kid too. So the dynamics between him as a father and his kid, Atreus, that's there as well, and you also have like pretty good combat, I would say. Yeah, so I would say the thing about God of War combat, I always found like it's like challenging enough, but also you got these quick time events, which I don't like either. Once you have too many quick time events, it feels too cinematic, which I don't like the quick time events in God of War, but I do appreciate the other combat mechanics of God of War. So I'm kind of mixed about the combat. Like in some ways the combat is very good in God of War, but in other ways, like I don't really like the quick time events. It's a little bit too cinematic for me. But hey, I guess that's what, like, you know, a lot of people like, right? They like to watch the cool little cinematic sequences. But yeah, it's a nice reboot. You play as more Norse mythology now instead of Greek mythology, and now you have father as well. And you keep the satisfying combat that you had in the original God of War games. And of course, graphics are pretty gorgeous with God of War games. The graphics are always done really well. So that's why God of War games have always been kind of a darling of reviewers. Yeah, you rarely ever see a badly reviewed God of War game because they just kind of have everything that they like. They have the story, they have the graphics, they got pretty decent combat, I'd say. So it's really a crowd pleaser for most people. Okay, let's go with another Sony exclusive. Well, it was exclusive for a few years. Spider-Man. This is the Insomniac game Spider-Man. Came out in 2018. The first of a series. I think all the Spider-Man games that Insomniac made were pretty good. So this one, Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2, all of them made one of my lists. So this is the original Insomniac Spider-Man game that came out in 2018 where you play as Peter Parker. And yeah, I would say this is probably, when this Spider-Man came out, I think everyone just immediately knew this was the best Spider-Man game. At least the best Spider-Man game to have come out in a very long time. I mean, the best Spider-Man game was like Spider-Man 2, I think, in the PS2 era, which was, yeah, okay. I mean, it's decent. But yeah, the thing is just hasn't been that many good Spider-Man games until Insomniac came out with this. And then when it came out with this, everyone knew this was the best Spider-Man game, because it's like it really made you feel like Spider-Man, right? You swing through New York City. You just swing through New York City and really makes you feel like you're Spider-Man. The controls are just amazing, right? You swing through. Like, it was really hard for previous Spider-Man games just to get this control right, where it made you have this feeling of being Spider-Man, swing through the streets of New York. It's a hard feeling to get right with the controls, and Insomniac just did it perfectly, giving you this nice open world setting, right, in New York City. And the controls are so fluid, just swing through the streets of New York. And the combat is also well done too. It's like this nice cinematic combat that reminds you of the Batman Arkham games. So yeah, it's just really all in all a great superhero game, and yeah, a great Spider-Man game. I mean, pretty much I would say all the best Spider-Man games have now been made by Insomniac, because yeah, they started out with this and they just built on top of it with Miles Morales and Spider-Man 2. So yeah, I think Insomniac made the best Spider-Man games. It just really makes you feel like you're Peter Parker in this one, right? In Spider-Man, you tackle all of his classic foes and enemies that you see in the comics and cartoons. So yeah, as a Spider-Man fan, I would have loved to have this when I was a kid. You know, I think kids get the benefit of having so many good games these days. When I was a kid, like, it was kind of just slim pickings, you know? It's like, well, it's more hit and miss, I would say, not really slim pickings. It's like hit and miss. You know, you don't really know which game is good or bad. But these days, kids have so many good games to choose from. So yeah, like, man, I wish I had this game when I was a kid. I was a huge Spider-Man fan growing up, but I never would have dreamed having a game like this as a kid. The best I had was like Spider-Man for PS1. That was the best that we had back then. Yeah, that's Spider-Man 2018 for Insomniac. Really does make you feel like you're Spider-Man, which is great. Okay, number 11, Sonic Mania. So actually this is Sonic Mania Plus. Yeah. The Plus version is kind of an expanded version of Sonic Mania, which originally came out in 2017. This version adds on some extra stuff, adds a few new characters, and kind of redoes a few levels and stuff, and made it a physical release. So yeah, this is the only Sonic Mania I think to have a physical release, so they added some extra content and everything. But Sonic Mania Plus is probably the best way to play Sonic Mania. It really is the best Sonic game in a long time. I remember when Sonic Mania came out, people were like, man, this is just like a classic Sonic game, right? Really reminds you of the first 3 Sonic games. It's just a return to form, you know? The thing about Sonic is that once Sonic went 3D, I mean, Sonic Adventure was okay, I guess. It's good. Sonic Heroes was good. But then after that, it was a bunch of misses, you know? And like, starting from the mid-2000s, yeah, it was pretty crap for Sonic in the mid-2000s and late 2000s, you know? We wouldn't get a good Sonic game for from 2005 until for another 10 years, you wouldn't get another good Sonic game. So yeah, this is like the best Sonic game you've had in a long time, because it plays and feels exactly like the first 3 classic Sonic games. So yeah, and this is the best way to experience it, Sonic Mania Plus, because it has some extra characters and modes and stuff.
I think Michael Jackson had some influence on Sonic.
Yeah, so gameplay and everything, it's just so classic. The levels and everything, yeah, it's just done really well. So it's really right up there with any of the classic Sonic games, any of the classic 2D Sonic games. I think it's really right up there with them. So yeah, Sonic Mania Plus definitely has to make my list here. Okay, so starting off at number 10 is Shadow of the Colossus remake. So yeah, this is a remake of the all-time great action-adventure game Shadow of the Colossus. Originally came out for PS2 back in the day. Now, I didn't own a PS2 actually, so I never actually played the original. I did play kind of the HD version that came out for PS3. But yeah, this remake is of course on another level. It's not just a HD remaster, right? Everything is just like graphically redone and everything. It looks amazing. And pretty much gameplay is the same as the original. It didn't change too much, and it doesn't need to, because the original is highly acclaimed. You know, why would you need to? But what's great about Shadow of the Colossus is just like the original game. The thing is, because there's not too much story and not too much narrative about this game, it's fairly open-ended, and I think it received a lot of praise because it's almost like it's almost like video games as an art form. You know, it's just the video game is more about expressing like just how like the narrative is more expressed by the beauty of the world and the monsters and everything. So yeah, like from a grand point of view, basically you're playing as this guy who's trying to take down like the 16 colossi. But yeah, it's just like the lack of narrative basically is also kind of a strength of this game. Is like, yeah, you just go into this beautiful world by yourself without too much explanation that's left on your own to kind of explore. And keep in mind, the original came out, you know, way before Breath of the Wild did. So it's just the sense of exploration and seeing these gigantic colossi like this one. This is like the first one you face, right? And trying to take them down and everything. Yeah, it's honestly an amazing experience for those of you guys who haven't played Shadow of the Colossus before. Definitely play it. It's definitely an amazing experience to go out into this wide, vast, open world, riding your horse and seeing these gigantic colossi in front of you. And yeah, very cinematic, I would say, as well. So, and the remake is really the best way to play it. You know, if you play the original, it's definitely going to look dated. But if you play the remake now, yeah, it's a very cinematic game, I would say. Just you riding on your horse and encountering these amazing looking colossi, trying to take them down by yourself. I mean, yeah, an amazing experience. So what can I say? It's an all-time great game. Shadow of the Colossus remake. Okay, so number 9 is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Personally, one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games. I know like there's many people that don't like Odyssey as well, but I personally really liked it. I mean, I know there's people that are like, yeah, Assassin's Creed, they became too bloated. You know, with Origins and Odyssey and Valhalla especially, they just padded way too much content unnecessarily and strayed too much away from being an assassin. But I appreciated Origin and Odyssey and to a lesser extent Valhalla because it really lets you explore these worlds. Like, I didn't think of them as, oh, you're just playing an assassin. It's more like an open world adventure, an open world action adventure where you're kind of reliving what it was like back then. So it's like a historical experience. So I think that's what I see Assassin's Creed games are like. I know some people are like, yeah, I should go back to the core gameplay of being an assassin, but I see Assassin's Creed games more like, yeah, you're experiencing like a historical era, right? So it's and for that, like, Assassin's Creed is very, very immersive, and I love ancient Greece and the ancient Greek mythology and stuff. So what makes Odyssey really special for me is because it does take place in that era. Yeah. So yeah, you play this girl here in ancient Greece, and just the historical setting and everything just comes alive, I think. So one of the reasons I really love Assassin's Creed Odyssey is, of course, the gameplay of this game is, yeah, there's so much you can do in this game because the world's so vast, and it really makes you feel like you're in ancient Greece. You know, one of my favorite settings, and it has some mythology in it as well. Of course, they got to throw in a bit of fantasy and mythology. Why wouldn't they? Yeah. So overall, like the setting, I like the environment, and yeah, just how vast the gameplay is and everything. The graphics are pretty good. I mean, Assassin's Creed games always have good graphics as well. Yeah, I liked it. So one of my top 3 Assassin's Creed games, along with 2 and 4. So 2, 4, and Odyssey are probably my favorites. Just love the fact that you can explore the vastness of ancient Greece and just feel immersed in it. Yeah, for a fan of history like me, like, this is like a dream come true, right? Like, I really like to have the history and everything. The historical aspect of the Assassin's Creed games is why I play them. You know, not necessarily just for the gameplay. Okay, so number 8 is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which I think is the best Super Smash Bros. Game. I know, like, Super Smash Bros. Melee, that's a classic and an iconic game. But for me, yeah, I think Super Smash Bros. Ultimate... Ooh, what happened here with the video? Not sure what happened here. But yeah, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is to me the best Super Smash Bros. Game because it really is like you can choose from so many characters. Like the roster is absolutely massive in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Like almost like all not just Nintendo characters, right? Of course, but non-Nintendo characters. Like here you have Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, Shulk from Xenoblade Chronicles. They're all there too. So yeah, I mean, just having all that. Yeah, so the character roster is huge, and then of course you have all these different maps, the most in any Super Smash Brothers. So you have the biggest character roster, the most maps, and it still keeps the core gameplay. And I know that like still people, a lot of purists still like Melee, but hey, I'm not a freak about Super Smash Brothers. Just give me the most content, and Ultimate has that. So to me, it's the best way to experience Super Smash Brothers. And Super Smash Brothers is very unique as a fighting game. It's just unlike all other fighting games because you don't lose based on damage. You lose based on whether you're thrown out of the ring, so out of the map basically. So it just plays differently than every other fighting game. So yeah. Anyways, love playing Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. I think this is probably the best Super Smash Brothers game. Okay, number 7, Red Dead Redemption 2. I know a lot of people have Red Dead Redemption 2 as much higher, and it's like an all-time great game to everyone. But for me, like, the thing is, of course, I enjoy playing Red Dead Redemption 2. It's an all-time great game. I understand that. The story, the narrative, how big and open the world is, how detailed they made everything. Yeah, I understand that. It just really made you feel immersed, like you're actually living at the turn of the 20th century. But the thing is, I guess it's just I'm not really too much of a Western guy. Like, this environment, I get that. It's a really immersive environment. Don't get me wrong. The early 1900s, that's a really cool environment and setting. But I'm just not as big of a cowboy fan as other people, I guess. But that's not just it. I mean, I just prefer, some of Rockstar's other open world games in terms of setting more. Yeah, I did prefer GTA 5 more. Even Bully, Bully is a game I kind of like. I wish I could go back to that setting where LA Noire. That's a really cool setting as well. 1940s, like a noir type, like LA, 1940s LA. That's a cool setting. I don't know about the Wild West. Just having an open world Wild West game is good, but I guess I just didn't appreciate it as much as other people. But hey, I mean, I have to recognize that Red Dead Redemption 2 is still an all-time great game. I just don't have it ranked as high as a lot of other people. I mean, I've seen like video game lists where Red Dead Redemption 2 was like a top 5 all-time game, but I would never put it as a top 5 all-time game for me. It is a great game and an all-time great game. I understand, especially for an open world, game. It's one of the best, right? It's so cinematic, and the gameplay is so varied, and it really makes you feel immersed in the game. Like with Rockstar, it's like, man, they add so much content, and it's crazy just how much content they have in their games. Actually, how much you can do in their games. It's crazy. And they make it so realistic with these types of games as well. But for me, Red Dead Redemption 2 is it's still an all-time great game, but just not as high for me as it is for other people. I understand how great it is. Just for me, it's just I'm not like a huge fan of the Wild West. Maybe that's why. And that's why my number 6 goes to Puyo Puyo. No, I'm kidding. It's Yakuza 6. It's Yakuza 6. So I'm playing a mini game because this is what you do in Yakuza. You play mini games, right? So that's Puyo Puyo. It's just a bunch of Sega games because Yakuza is a Sega property. And here we have Virtua Fighter going on as well, another Sega property. And I love this about Yakuza games, the fact that you can play entire whole games within this game. It's not just like you play some other games and they might have some mini games, but it's very, very basic, baby mini game and some mobile type of mini game. No, in Yakuza, it's an actual full-on game inside of this game. This is actually Virtua Fighter. Like, this is actually Puyo Puyo. It's the full game. It's not some half-assed baby mini game here. Like, it's an actual full game inside of this game, which is really cool. But Yakuza 6. This is the last Yakuza before they turn into Like a Dragon, I would say. Like a Dragon focuses on a different protagonist, and it's a turn-based RPG. So for Kiryu, I know there's some other side spin-offs, like the man who erased his name, I think, came after this. But Yakuza 6, as I would say, is a full mainline, the last full mainline Yakuza game that focuses on Kiryu. yeah, after that it just switches to Like a Dragon instead and focuses on Ichiban. But yeah, I like Yakuza 6, of course, and this is why I'm talking about the setting, right? The setting is very important for me. Red Dead Redemption 2, by all accounts, should be ranked as a higher game than Yakuza 6 by most people, right? Like, most people have Red Dead Redemption 2 as an all-time great game. Yakuza 6 is probably not all-time great game for people. But for me, I put Yakuza 6 ahead because I just love the setting and the gameplay. In Yakuza a bit more. I mean, the gameplay, I think honestly, the combat's not great because it's so repetitive. That's something they would fix with Like a Dragon. But the fact that it's set in, it's set in Japan, which I love as a setting. You can buy actually real Japanese food here. Look at this: Imuya Gold Pizza Bun, Bonito Flake cat food, and it's photos of actual food in that convenience store. And then you can play actual like full-on games inside of this game. And you have the typical Yakuza drama, right? And it's part of the story and everything. Even though Kiryu is like kind of a stoic protagonist, but the story in Yakuza is always so dramatic, full of betrayals and stuff. Yeah, what can I say? It's a great Yakuza game, Yakuza 6. Not my personal favorite. I think Like a Dragon and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth are better, but out of the non-Like a Dragon games, it's tough. 4, 5, and 6 are all really close. If 0. 4, 5, 6, and 0. These are like all really close for me. They're all great games in their own way. So, anyways, Yakuza 6 at number 6. Okay, so number 5 is Valkyria Chronicles 4. This is a tactical game, and it might be surprising to some of you guys that it's so high on my list, but yeah, basically I had a great time playing this game. Honestly, it's my favorite Valkyria Chronicles game, and just because like I think it's just very polished. I mean, it's very fun to play. If you like tactical strategy games, what's unique about Valkyria Chronicles is that, well, let's just say like it's not really as focused on the, like it's a Japanese tactical game, but it's not really like anime-ish like the other ones are. So it's not like a Fire Emblem type of tactical game. It's focused on war actually. You're makes you feel like you're actually in the middle of an actual war zone, and you're planning strategy and everything using like just real life units like tanks and stuff. So it's not really as I would say it's more like realistic. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Even though it's I know it's still cell shaded and everything, but it's less so of an anime tactical game like Fire Emblem and more so like a realistic type of game. And what's kind of unique about Valkyria Chronicles is that while it's tactical, the perspective, it's like you can control them in third person, and then you set them down, and then you can attack from third person. But normally you can also see them kind of from overhead as well, from like this little like small little icons, I guess. So you can kind of see them like from the overhead view, but then you can kind of zoom in on them and control them from a third person when you're actually moving them. So I just find this kind of gameplay kind of unique to Valkyria Chronicles. Don't really see too many other tactical games like this. Like most of the tactical strategy games you see are like isometric or from an overhead perspective. But Valkyria Chronicles uniquely, you have an overhead perspective, but then you go into a third-person perspective, and then you move them. And of course, you still have the limited movement space. So it is kind of unique in that sense as well. But yeah, I played this game for a long time. I mean, like hours and hours I spent in this game. It was really fun. I got the Switch version. But yeah, it's a more realistic type of war setting, and yeah, I appreciate it for that. But you also have this kind of like comic book style, I guess, kind of panel thing when you beat a mission or something like that. You see all the characters talk in a panel, comic book style. So there is that as well. So yeah, graphical wise, it does have that cell shaded look to it, but it's not exactly like an anime style either. Anyways, I liked it. Valkyria Chronicles 4. Okay, so number 4, I have another tactical strategy game which I really love. This is by an indie developer. It's called Into the Breach. Yeah, just one of my favorite all-time tactical games. I know it looks a lot like XCOM, but it's not really like XCOM. I mean, definitely took some inspiration from XCOM for sure. but it's different. What I really love about Into the Breach is that, like, first of all, it's kind of a short game. It's not really like that long, so you can kind of beat it if you know what you're doing. But basically, you control 3 mechs, and you drop your mechs down, and yeah, every turn you'll have enemies kind of popping out of the ground and stuff. But they kind of the enemies, they kind of project their attacks, so they don't really like attack you the same turn, but they tell you how they're going to attack. And because you know how they're going to attack the next turn, you can kind of use that to your advantage. So you have some special mechs with different abilities, like pulling them away and stuff, and you can get them to like hurt their allies and everything just because they're kind of projecting their attacks. So you can kind of use that against them. And you're supposed to save your like these different colonies. I guess it is a sci-fi setting. You know, you got to save these colonies from these aliens and stuff and insects. But yeah, I love the fact that because the aliens and insects, they project their attacks, they don't attack right away. That gives an extra element of strategy to your gameplay. So you can kind of just, yeah, you can move them around and get them to attack each other and stuff. There's only a certain amount of buildings that you're allowed to lose, I think. So yeah, it was really fun. I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop playing this game when it first came out. Couldn't put it down. It was really addictive for me. So I really love the strategy aspect in this one. So Into the Breach, one of my favorite indie strategy games. And one of my favorite indie tactical games, I should say. Yeah, and because that guy, you project your attacks. I think I pushed him into there's some certain abilities some mechs have. You can like kind of push them into the water and stuff, which automatically kills them and stuff. It's pretty fun. Okay, so number 3, I have Steins Gate Zero. So this game originally came out, I think 2015 in Japan, and then 2016 on certain consoles and systems. I remember I played it originally for PS Vita back in 2016, but specifically this 2018 version is the PC port. So yeah, the international PC release, I mean. So yeah, Steins Gate Zero is a sequel to Steins Gate, a pretty well-renowned sci-fi visual novel. And I actually like Steins Gate Zero a little bit better. I think the original Steins Gate was great, obviously. But Steins Gate Zero, a little bit better because it is a darker game. The thing about Steins Gate is, yeah, when you're first starting out Steins Gate, you're playing as Rintaro Okebe, who is the main character, but he was very annoying for the first half of the game because he's kind of like delusional and he's like making up this alternate persona for himself. He was kind of an annoying character, to be honest, for the first half of Steins Gate. Steins Gate Zero, he's not annoying anymore because he's experienced a lot of shit, so he's kind of like very serious in Steins Gate Zero, and that makes this game a lot more serious and darker compared to the first game. He like basically Rintaro, he just doesn't F around in this one compared to the first game. He's a lot more serious in this one, and that's what makes this game, you know, a lot more for me, like being more darker and serious. I enjoyed this one a little bit more. It's not quite as annoying as the first one. In this game, you deal more with a different threat. Of course, you're in a different timeline. Of course, Steins Gate has time travel and everything in it, but in Steins Gate Zero, you're in a different timeline. Yeah, so Marquise Chris, yeah, she's not in this timeline actually, because she's dead. But in this timeline, she's an AI instead. And this is really relevant because now we're living in an age when this game came out originally. I don't think AI was as commonplace as it is now, but it is an actual thing in reality where you can talk to AI now. Yeah, AI is like everywhere now. So this game really kind of foreshadowed that, I would say. But yeah, Steins Gate Zero, it does have its lighthearted moments, but it's not as lighthearted overall as the original Steins Gate. It's overall a darker story, and yeah, it's for me, I liked it better. I like Steins Gate Zero better than the original Steins Gate. It's just an all-time great class. It's a great visual novel and an all-time great sci-fi visual novel. So if you guys like sci-fi visual novels, definitely check out both Steins Gate and Steins Gate Zero. Both of them are really, really great. Okay, so number 2, I have Subnautica. So this is an open world survival game that takes place mostly underwater on an alien planet. I actually played this in VR. So because I played this in VR, it made it that much more immersive. Yeah, what I really love about this game is the sense of exploration, the huge world that you find underwater in this game, with like giant sea monsters and creatures and everything. That's all here in this game, and it does get scary sometimes. And because I was in VR, it makes it that much more immersive. So yeah, I mean there were genuine moments when I was like really scared in this game. But yeah, you have this huge world underwater. You craft things. Although in my case, I like to just go sandbox mode. So I like to just just kind of build without being stressed about things. But if you actually play this game, then you actually have to worry about like oxygen levels and stuff like that, and having enough materials to build what you need to survive. But yeah, ultimately, like you had to build a way to get out of here, right? Out of this alien planet, because you crash landed on this alien planet. But this game really reminds me of Outer Worlds, and it was hard to choose. Like if you asked me which one, I really wouldn't be able to choose, because both Outer Wilds, sorry, not Outer Worlds, Outer Wilds. Dangerous. Yeah, both this game and Outer Wilds has this immense sense of exploration. So I can't choose between the two. I think both of these games are amazing games.
The sea serpent things I'm worried about.
Yeah, both Subnautica and Outer Wilds are just kind of amazing exploration games. Just the difference is Outer Wilds is in space, and Subnautica is in underwater. So they're both big worlds. You might be asking, what's a bigger world? Outer space or underwater? Yeah, and I mean the scary stuff. Man. Look, there's there's leviathans and stuff in this game.
Oh shit.
Yeah, see, giant sea monsters and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and that makes this game kind of scary to play when you're in VR. You have like giant sea monsters underneath the ocean, and man,
part looks cool.
The sense of exploration in this game is amazing. Anyways, I love playing this game, and yeah, it's just a great game. Oh my god,
that's what's pulling me down.
There was a sea monster behind me.
See, giant sea monster. Let's go. This giant sea monster is what's pulling me down.
Oh man,
that thing's huge. Oh shit, another one. Oh shit, multiple of them. Uh-oh.
I think I was invincible for this moment. Yeah, maybe I was invincible. I had a bunch of prawn suits.
Multiple of these giant sea monster things. Oh my god.
Oh man, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Anyways, an all-time great game for me, Subnautica.
Shit.
Oh man, the experiences I got playing this one. Okay, so my number one pick is Far Cry 5. I know it's a bit of a surprising pick for some of you guys. Like, Far Cry 5, how can that be number one? Well, the thing about Far Cry 5 is, first of all, it's my favorite Far Cry game. Yeah, I played pretty much all of them. The original 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Primal, and New Dawn, 6 as well. Yeah, I played pretty much every Far Cry game. Oh, there's Blood Dragon as well. I also played Blood Dragon. But I think Far Cry 5 is my favorite. Just because, like, it has the widest variety of, like, different vehicles and, like, the environment and setting and everything. It's the best for me. First of all, yeah, vehicles and everything, it's better than Far Cry 6. I mean, it's better than Far Cry 4, I should say. I'm not sure about 6. It's better than Far Cry 4 in terms of the vehicles on offer and the weapons, the customization for the weapons and stuff. And then compared to 6, I actually think that because this 5 has arcade mode and 6 took away arcade mode, which was a huge part of the replayability of 5. So I don't like 6 as much, because 6 took away arcade mode. It only had co-op campaign. But because 5 still had arcade mode, you can play all these custom maps, which I usually do with my friends. So I think I spent probably hundreds of hours playing Far Cry 5 in arcade mode, just with all these user-generated maps. It's so fun. So, yeah. That's all I'm gonna say. Why Far Cry 5 is number one is because I spent hundreds of hours playing all these custom maps that people made with my friend in arcade mode, and yeah, had so much fun. So Far Cry 5, it's just a great game. What can I say? I liked it better than 6. I don't like that 6 omitted the arcade mode for some reason, and has more stuff than 4. And I like 4 too, but it just has more stuff than 4. And I know a lot of people like 3, but I mean, I think 5 is better than 3, honestly, as well. Yeah, just like and I played through the entire campaign co-op as well. The enemy Joseph Seed, as the main antagonist. Yeah, very memorable for me. Yeah, overall, just had so much fun. I even created my own custom maps for Far Cry 4 and 5 as well. That's how much I enjoyed playing this game. So yeah, so literally, if you look on my YouTube channel, you can find literally hundreds of hours of Far Cry 5 game sessions played with my friends. It's really that good. I mean, so fun. So this game has to be #1 for me for 2018. Anyways, that's my top 30 games that were released originally in 2018. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. As always, thanks for watching.